10 tips for the speaking section of the TOEIC test. First, the test structure. The TOEIC speaking section has 11 questions and lasts 20 minutes. Question 1 and 2, read a text aloud. 3 and 4, describe a picture on screen in as much detail as possible. 5 to 7, respond to questions. 8 to 10, responds to questions using information provided. Practice. Practice more than you consume. What does that mean? A lot of unsuccessful English learners believe that passive learning will help them improve their English speaking, which of course is untrue. If you only have 10 minutes to study speaking, 1 minute should be used on reading or listening to a prompt, and at least 9 minutes solely focused on your speaking. This can be awkward because the hardest part for many English learners is getting over the uncomfortable feeling of speaking out loud. But if you want to improve, that is exactly what you're going to have to do. Try practicing for the specific questions you will receive. For example, one of the questions requires you to describe a picture. Here is how you can do it. What is in the picture? In the picture I can see. There is, there are, there isn't a, there aren't any. Say what is happening with the present continuous. The man is doing, the people are doing, it is raining. Where are things within the picture? At the top, at the bottom of the picture, in the middle of the picture, on the left, right of the picture, next to, in front of, behind, on top of, at the bottom, under. If something isn't clear, it looks like a, it might be a, he could be doing, maybe it's a. If you're a teacher, you want to show photos to your students and practice them talking about it. Try using basic English questions and answers to grow your confidence and practice speaking. I wrote a book with 1,000 questions and answers for English learners based on 50 different topics, with 20 questions and example answers for each. You can practice them on your own and use the answer as a basic example. More preferably, if you have a partner, take turns asking one another these questions. 10 for you and 10 for your partner. Record your voice. Think about being an actor preparing to do a play. You don't want your first time saying the lines to be in front of an audience. The same counts for speaking. It might be awkward to listen to your own voice at first, but the best way for you to improve your speaking is to record yourself and then listen to see where you can make improvements. Record yourself with your phone, on video or only audio. Listen to your pronunciation, fluency, and the overuse of certain words or phrases. It is also important to listen for the use of filler words like or ah. If you are shy, get over it. You must make yourself comfortable with hearing your own voice to improve your English speaking. Grading rubric. Use a grading rubric to practice specific responses to the criteria. It can also help you see things from the grader's perspective. Here are some criteria. Answer to question. This refers to your ability to understand the task and speak about the topic in a way that is relevant. For example, if you are asked to give reasons and examples, you should only do that. If you forget about examples and give details instead, you will lose points. Comprehensibility. This refers to how well you are understood. If someone can easily follow what you're saying, then you'll get a higher score. Organization. If your answer is organized and developed, you will receive a higher grade. Fluency. Speak naturally, without hesitation and pauses. There is a rhythm to every language, and you want your speech to flow like it would if you were a native speaker. It helps if you watch some good public speakers perform and try to emulate them. Pronunciation. Pronounce individual words correctly, with the right word stress and intonation. You will do fine. This is exactly why you should record yourself, so you can fix any pronunciation errors you make. Remember, pronunciation is not about accent. Everyone has an accent, but you want to pronounce the words correctly. Grammar. This refers to your ability to use advanced grammatical structures with a high level of accuracy. If you use the same structure or tense over and over again, it will reflect on your score. I am currently doing a series on grammar, which I will put in the description below. Vocabulary. Having a wide range of vocabulary will reflect better on you and help you achieve a better grade. I have a book with 1,300 academic vocabulary that gives you the meaning and example sentences of words you should know to improve your score. Checklists. Besides a grading rubric, you can use a checklist to practice your speaking and erase mistakes you make while speaking. Record yourself and then check how you performed with the checklist. Then improve on the weaknesses you have shown. Did I speak for 42 to 45 seconds? Was my introductions 12 seconds or less? Did I have enough time to include a short conclusion? Did I look at the clock to monitor my time at least twice? Did I include at least 2 transitional words or phrases? Did I speak at a smooth and even pace for the majority of my response? Did I speak in a natural and conversational tone? No robot voice. Did I elaborate on the topic with a well-developed personal example or anecdote? If you are a teacher, use these to help check your students' speaking. Body language. You may think that body language isn't necessary for a test, but research shows that using positive body language has a great effect on students' speaking. Here are some tips to improve your confidence for a speaking test. Smile. Force yourself to smile before the prompt is even given. This will send positive hormones to your brain and make you sound friendlier while speaking. Sit or stand upright. Broaden your shoulders and take a deep breath. Many people forget to breathe and tense up their bodies, which makes them even more nervous. By sitting and standing with your back straight and taking up more space, your body will tell your brain that everything is okay. You are safe and in control. It also allows you to breathe more air into your lungs, helping you speak clearly without gasping for air. Make it a habit of showing your palms to viewers. YouTubers and public speakers often do this to show people that they are open and easy to listen to. Move your hands while speaking. When you gesture by using your facial expressions and hands, you become more charismatic and expressive. They have done studies where people have had to think or speak while their hands were bound. They found that the brain function decreased and participants couldn't express themselves clearly. So get in the habit of using your hands while speaking, be it to emphasize points or orchestrating the rhythm of your speech. By being conscious of your body while speaking, you can dramatically improve your confidence and clarity of thought to get a better speaking score. Structure. I always teach my students how to structure their answers to questions from the speaking section. First, you have to do your introduction. Restate an answer. Body. Detail example. Detail 2 example. Detail 3 example. Summary. Review what you have talked about. Call to action. What do you think can be learned from this question? In your introduction, you restate the question and then answer your question. In your body, you will give ideally 3 details with 3 examples or explanations each. And at the end, summarize what you talked about and give a final call to action. I usually give my students a simple example, then let them practice with some easy questions first before getting to more complex ones later. Use a timer. There is a limited time for test takers to prepare and give their answer for the speaking test. For the independent task, they get 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to speak. For the integrated speaking tasks, they get 30 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to answer. That is not a lot of time. So you have to condition yourself by practicing with a timer. When practicing for specific questions, set the timer. You have to get used to the added pressure of time on yourself. Also, you should check the time you have available and use it to its fullest extent. Practicing like this may be annoying at first, but as you learn to keep all your answers within the time frame, your confidence will grow and you will thank yourself for the extra preparation on test day. Transitional phrases. Students can memorize specific phrases to use at the appropriate time. Not only will these phrases help you think about how to construct your answers, it will make you more confident when delivering these answers. You don't have to memorize every phrase, but if you already know how to answer, it will take a lot of stress off your back. let's look at some really useful transition words and phrases. If you want to give yourself some time to think. Let's see. That's an interesting question. Let me think. Contrasting. Although, whereas, while, in spite of, others may argue. Expanding on your point. First, second, third. Similarly, moreover. Emphasizing a point or argument. Evidently, above all, obviously, without a doubt. Illustrating cause and effect. As a result, consequently, thanks to. Generalizing. Overall, for the most part, generally speaking. Summarizing or concluding. In conclusion, as a result, in summary. As a matter of fact. Not only, but also. Moreover, likewise. Phrases for giving reasons. One cause for that is. Since. Because of. Given that. Phrases for introducing new points. Moreover. Furthermore. In addition to. Practice beginning your answers with phrases such as far as I'm concerned. Personally, I think that. It seems to me that. To describe problems and solutions, use introduction phrases like these. The problem is. The problem seems to be that. The real issue seems to be that. To compare and contrast ideas. Try expressions like, on the contrary. Instead, I'd say that. Some may argue that. Transitional verbs. Try to use transitional adverbs to make your speech flow. For example, however, therefore, consequently, moreover, nevertheless, nonetheless, thus, and hence. When discussing your personal opinions, use adjectives like reliable, resourceful, sensible, passionate, and bright. You need to demonstrate that you have a good knowledge of vocabulary. Including various adverbs and adjectives can add more expression and complexity to your English. Use phrasal verbs, but not too much. Native speakers often use phrasal verbs in conversation, especially in more informal situations. It's a good idea to use some phrasal verbs during your speaking test to show that you know them. Get on, get back, get over, look after, look up, look forward to, put off, put on. I have a list of 100 common phrasal verbs. Join the email group in the description below to get them for free. Secrets for the speaking section. It's okay to hesitate for a moment or two when it's time to respond. However, it is best to fill as much of the time as possible with your response. If you have a few extra seconds available, you can sum things up with a short conclusion. You will lose marks for poor communication. So don't try to use big words that you can't say properly. You will also lose marks for improper use of vocabulary and idioms. Make sure you know how to use an expression properly before you use it in the exam. The speaking questions are not random. There is a logic to how questions are developed. Each section aims to test particular language skills. In part 1, the linguistic functions that are tested are likes and dislikes and preferences, abilities, frequency of actions and other times related questions, people and places, especially related to skills of recommending something. Part 3 tests about 10 or so language skills, compare and contrasting, especially related to how things have changed from the past till now, speculating on future developments, advantages and disadvantages, problems and solutions, and again, several others. Pay close attention to tenses when comparing the past with now. Brainstorm different solutions to different kinds of problems and knowing phrases that could be used for clean transitions. I would argue that there are a wide range of measures that could be taken to tackle this problem. Every time the question is related to what or why you like something or whether you can do something, like you can play a musical instrument. The key to answering these questions is by going back into the past and pointing out when you developed interest in this activity. Trying to list the advantages of listening to pop music, which is a go-to answer for many students, is not a good strategy. Remember to practice regularly. Focus on pronunciation and intonation and familiarize yourself with the test format. With dedication and effort, you can confidently showcase your English speaking skills and achieve success in these standardized tests. The speaking section of English language tests requires consistent practice and preparation. By following these 10 tips, you can enhance your speaking abilities, increase fluency, and perform well in the IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC tests.